All right. All right, Tequila, go ahead and bring the people in. Give me a countdown.
I was like, what? All right, Tequila. Oh, I don't remember what we're supposed to say. But anyway, 5, 4, 3. I feel so stupid. 2, 1. Hit it.
Just Poddin. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Just Poddin. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Where a podcast is just a podcast.
Hey.
Where a podcast is just a podcast with Ashley
That's her.
Tequila.
That's me.
We're just Poddin. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. With special guest Shekerah Sims.
Hey, shout out to Shekerah.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Just Poddin. I am your co-host, Ashley.
And I'm your co-host, Tequila.
So go ahead, grab your headphones, your drinks, and let's just pod. Shout out also to our listeners. We appreciate you. So keep rocking with us. You can definitely listen to us on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Spotify.
Everywhere except SoundCloud. I don't know why you scared to say
I don't know if it's everywhere. I think it's on. I don't know how many platforms it is.
It's everywhere they listening.
So yes, make sure y'all keep sharing it with your friends, your family members, posting it on your social media, and just keep supporting us. We appreciate it. But particularly want to introduce our guest for today.
Yes. So everybody, this is my cousin Shekerah.
Hey.
Hi guys.
She is here to talk about mental health. She is the owner of the Beauty Beyond the Mirror. Is it a nonprofit, right?
Mm-hmm.
A nonprofit that she started, but I'll let her tell you all about that. But I mentioned her on the podcast because this is like my rock, y'all. Like, if I ever need somebody to talk to, because I don't really talk to a lot of people, y'all know that. But if I'm ever feeling down or anything, going through stuff, this is the person I call. So y'all know if I can trust her, she got to be the real deal, okay?
Right.
So, Shekerah, you can go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, whatever you want the people to know.
Well, hi guys. Thank you for having me on the podcast. I am an active listener. I love y'all podcasts. So I'm really honored to be here. Like Tequila, my cousin, she's really my sister. No, okay, let me not lie to the people. She really is my cousin, but she's like a big sister. So we like sister cousins. That's what you can say.
Right. Period.
Right. Period. Pooch.
Period.
Don't try me. Right. So I have a nonprofit organization. It's called the Beauty Beyond the Mirror, and it targets mental health awareness. Really, the audience that I originally started with was adolescent girls between the ages of 12 and 17. But not by choice. It's just kind of been happening that actually adult women have been reaching out to me for just different techniques and go-to things that they could do and use to help, not because they're crazy, but just because, just dealing with life. And then I have kind of created like a safe space to discuss mental health issues because of my own struggles that I've had in my past. I'm sure we'll get into that. I don't want to go too fast.
No.
But
because we ain't got no structure, girl. Just go ahead.
Yes, go ahead. Feel free to talk. Open up. I mean, in honor of Mental Healthness Awareness Month, the topic of the day is mental health, and we brought Kira on to definitely talk about mental health with us. So go ahead.
Okay, well, I mean, I think it's a subject that never was discussed. And I think now sometimes I feel like some people use it as a crutch to live in their damaged place and to find comfort and solace in that negative or damaged place instead of getting help to come up out of it. I think it's really amazing, like the progress that people have made, that society has made, though, with the comfortability of admitting and knowing, okay, something might be wrong, but it doesn't make me a psychopath. It's just, I may feel a little bit off today, and that's okay. And I think with that, it creates a safe space, so that way we're having less suicidal cases. We're having less drug overdoses, because people just can't take the stress, because they're dealing with real life stuff that everybody deals with. It's just a lot of people in our community especially kind of sweep it under a rug. So me personally, I grew up in a household full of love, so let me put that out there first. I grew up in a household full of love. However, it's only but so much love that people can give you when you do not put it or pour it into yourself or feel that way about yourself. So growing up, I'll give you just guys a little bit of tea. I have, like, my mom is in my household, and then I have my mom's husband, who he is my father. Okay, he raised me, but my birth father was in my life growing up, but he was in and out. So that in and out caused me to internalize a lot of things and get my hands into a lot of things that I should probably not have gotten into. And because I was internalizing them and not talking about them, because my mama, although she's young to have a 30-year-old like myself, she's old school, like real, what's the word can I use to describe your auntie Tequila?
Real.
Girl.
Straightforward to the point.
Don't be talking about my aunt.
She real now.
For me, I can't speak on that, because me and her relationship is different from you and her relationship. So I can't really put a word on that. You know what I'm saying?
Now, like, me and my mom are best friends. Like, that's my ace, that's my baby. I'll cut you to talk about my mama, you know. Not really. I'm not gonna cut anybody, but you know, that's my homie, you know. But growing up, it was not like that. You know, I didn't really have that relationship where I could talk to her openly about just anything. And so, and as a result of that, I internalized a lot. So I grew up, you know, feeling less than. I grew up because I learned a lot that I learned from school, and I moved around a lot. So military brat, you know, we moved from South Carolina to Seattle, Washington, back to South Carolina to Virginia, like right at peak years. And right when I would meet friends, it would be time, okay, we're going to move again. And it's like, really? I'm sick of moving at this point. So when you think about all of those things, like, okay, my father was in and out. My home was stable, but relationships for me was never stable. It caused a lot of internalization, and in hand caused me to kind of lose sight and look the wrong places for acceptance and validation and self-worth. And so I was looking at social media. I never was a skinny girl. I've always been the thicker, chunky, you know, so I internalized that. Oh, I'm too fat. Nobody likes me. And, you know, the things that, like, we all are self-conscious about something, but it was deep rooted. I got into a few bad relationships, abusive relationships, more so verbally, mentally, and emotionally. My last relationship, not the one I'm in now, woo, my last relationship was physically abusive as well. So that, like, added on and just piled it on. And I went into a dark place, and I didn't tell anybody because I was ashamed. And out of that shame, like, I learned that shame is like mold. It grows in dark places. So the more you keep it down and you don't talk about it, the bigger it gets. And then you have all this fear of expressing what's wrong or that something is wrong. And you're like imagining how people are going to react to what you're saying. And when you do it, it's like you meet people that are just like you. So it's after 2 suicide attempts, I was like, you know, I don't want to not live. I want to be here. Like, no matter how much how hard or how difficult life is, I want to be here. And I grew up thinking I didn't want to be here. I've had suicidal thoughts since I was a teenager, but I've never acted on it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, not to cut you off, and we didn't discuss this prior hand. So if there's anything that you don't want to discuss or say, and that we ask, like, please, just tell us to move on, and we will. But I wanted to ask, when did you first, I think, notice that you were suffering from mental health, or had a case of mental health illness, or like what would you consider it to be? Because I know for me personally, I always say, like, I'm depressed and I suffer with depression. So would you say the same, or it's just mentally you just, get down? What is it?
So I definitely have had, and sometimes do still, I fight my way with dealing with depression, and anxiety. But it is a lot for me. Like, I've had to do my work. And when I say do my work, I mean, like, I really had to, like, center myself while I was going through it and not isolate, because I noticed that although it's natural for me to isolate and to just naturally want to be by myself because I'm just not feeling all, hey guys, that day, it's not healthy, because, I don't want to go biblical, but they said there's a Bible verse. There's a Bible verse that says, or there's a saying rather that says, an idle mind is the devil's playground. And in the Bible, it says, lean not into your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him and he'll direct your path. But taking that second part out, lean not into your own understanding, and only focusing on that part, that's to be applied in everyday life. Like, if I'm going through something and I don't understand what's going on, or I understand just a little bit of how I'm feeling, I just know how I'm feeling. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. And my friends never talked about that they've dealt with anything like this. So I think I'm weird. But that's me leaning into my own understanding. And then when I reached out and I said, I'm going to go to therapy. Like, I'm just going to go. My insurance was paying for it. So I was like, I'm just going to go and I'm just going to see what it is. And I had a horrible experience the first time. So you guys out there listening, when people be like, date your therapist, that is a fact. You have to date your therapist. You have to make sure that you have a therapist that works best for you, how you listen, how you love, and how you learn. It's a real thing. I went through one bad experience, and then I had one of my old friends actually recommended another therapist, because I did mention, like, I just went to therapy today and it was horrible. I'm never going back. And she was like, girl, no, you need to try my therapist. She's cool. She's going to tell you the real. And that's what I need. That's what I relate to, the real. Because, like, my mom is real. So, I grow up with that. We're like, see, no, just tell me what it is.
Do you can I ask, is she black or is she white?
She is black.
Okay, because I know that's like a big thing. Some people need to be able to talk to, like, a black person, because they're just more understanding. They're not hitting you with that kind of passive aggressiveness of, okay, so what are you talking about? No, it's hitting you, like you said, with the 100 point.
Right.
That's how I feel. Like, I still haven't been to therapy or anything, but I really, I'm an advocate for it. Well, I don't know if that's the right word, because I don't do it, but I think everybody should go. But when I do start, I'm definitely looking for a black woman, because I just feel like there's just so many issues that we go through that nobody will understand. Like, even a black man, like, it's still something that a black woman will go through. And that's vice versa. Like, black men, there's stuff that y'all go through that we won't fully understand because we're women. So I feel like in order to relate, or in order to even receive the information that the therapist is giving me, I need it to come from somebody that looks like me.
Right.
Exactly. That's a fact. That's a fact, because, she said the wrong thing. I'm be like, okay, I'm going to go. And I'm not
you never know.
So, you got to go. I got to go. Bye. I'm out of here. But I think that's very real. Like, it's a very real thing to date your therapist. That's good. That's like one of the best things that I took away from that experience. That's how I kind of summarized it. Like, instead of telling people like, oh God, you might have a horrible experience at first, it's just more relatable and then more condensed to just say, just date your therapist and make sure they're the right fit for you.
That's good.
Yeah. So I went to therapy. I started going to therapy, and it's crazy because I started going to therapy as couples therapy with and when my therapist broke us up into the individual sessions, that's when I was like noticing things about myself. Like she was pulling different things like, okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You was cute.
Yeah, you had a cute little picture up there, so it's all good.
I was about to say, oh, she got visuals for her.
Oh, show! I'm like, she came better prepared than us.
Than the whole honey. I'm trying to tell you.
No.
It's gone again. We can't see you.
Oh no, what happened? Okay, I'm back.
Yes.
Okay. So she had she broke us up into like different sections of what, like, you know, individual segments or sessions or whatever. And with the individual sessions,
somebody text you.
It's because my significant other continues to text me. I just text her. I just sent her text like, I want podcast.
Wait.
But so when we were like broken up into individual sessions or whatever, that's when I started to notice things about myself. Like, she didn't ever diagnose me with anything. She would always lead me to discovery. So she would ask certain questions to kind of make me start thinking a different type of way. And she would give certain homework assignments to make me think another type of way as well. So instead of looking at the jar half empty, she was training my mind to look at it half full. But I didn't realize that until the end. But so I took away a lot of different things. Like, my major lesson in therapy was like, she always would ask, and I used to get so frustrated in our sessions, like, why do you keep asking me that? She's like, you'll understand in time. And I'm like, because the question would be, who do you control? Who do you have control over? And I will, of course, myself. I have control over myself. And I never understood it in the moment. And it seems so simple, like out of context. But when you're in the moment and you're just thinking about, well, no, my dad left me. He's in and out. My mom did this. My friends be acting like this. When I'm going through stuff, ain't nobody there. Da, 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 da. You're not thinking like, okay, but at the end of the day, the only person that I control is myself. I can't control what they do, but I can very much so control how it affects me and how I respond to it, rather. Because our response is 9 times out of 10 why we deal with the things that we deal with. It's what we put upon ourselves. It's my belief that, yeah, you may have abandonment issues, but how you deal with the abandonment issues is how you're going to progress and maneuver through other relationships in your life. So it's more so the response than the action.
You better speak on it. You better speak on it.
I take those little tidbits of therapy, and I would have never thought like that. Like, I swear, I would have never thought like that had I not been in therapy for 4.5 years.
Wow.
Consistently. And I'm an advocate of therapy.
Good.
Like, advocate. So, get y'all a therapist, go on some dates.
Listen, you talking,
the
okay.
only days we gonna be going on, honey.
Right. That's the only days we gonna be going on. But I'm definitely for seeing a therapist because I know I have some things I want to work out personally. So you said your mental health came from just like suppressing different issues that you had going on, not having anybody or feeling like you had anybody to talk to. How has that changed like the relationships in your life? Clearly you said, one of the reasons you started going to therapy was because you were in a relationship. So has you seen your mental health roll over into into your past relationships and now in your current one? And even with your mom?
Come on, question.
Oh, okay. Yes. This is some good questions. Okay.
Good one.
So, like, that's really a good question. Okay. So they have, I see a major, I wish I could get close to the phone, a major difference in my relationships with everybody. But
Yes.
the biggest improved relationship from therapy and just dealing with my mess, the biggest, like the greatest improvement has been my relationship with myself. Like, I love me more than I have ever loved me in my entire life. Like, wow. I'm not gonna cry right now. But like it, and I mean, I have on a butterfly necklace, and everything I do is like, I just love butterflies. Like, because it represents, like, I just stand for everything a butterfly. Like, for a long period of my life, I felt like I was a caterpillar just crawling. And from there, I went into like this cocoon where I was ashamed and I was afraid. And I was like, yeah, I'm not talking to nobody about nothing. I'm just going to pretend like everything is okay by wearing this smile. Because everybody who knows me, they're like, oh, she always smiling. Like, that's the smiling girl. She speaks to everybody. She just smile. But deep down, I was really hurting. But I had to accept reality that if I don't, not saying to walk around looking like, you know, somebody done stumped your toe every day, but to let at least people in my close circle know that something is wrong. If I don't let people know that I need them to be there for me, I cannot be upset at these people for not being there for me. It's the energy that I put out. So when my friends call or when they text and they're like, you know, are you good? Instead of me saying, yeah, when it's really a no, just say, if you don't want to say no, I've learned to say, I'll be okay in time, or I'm getting better, because every day you are getting better. Every second you are getting better. And I may not want to discuss it at that point, but at least I'm not lying and putting out there that everything is okay, to give them no reason to check on me again. So the butterfly comes in where it's like, I feel like I'm in my butterfly phase of my life. And I say that not because I think everything is beautiful and everything is just blossoming, because there's some stuff still going on, okay? But my perspective regarding what's going on just helps me. Every time I see a butterfly, like, just fly past me, I immediately, like, it's like potion. It's crazy. It checks my mental to let me remember, like, regardless of what it is that's going on in my life, it's gonna pass. Like, as just as swift as a butterfly flies away, this issue is gonna fly away. And then, like, it's gotten so deep to the point where, like, I'll start seeing like green butterflies, or I'll see a red butterfly. I see red butterflies so much. And so in the moment,
no butterfly.
Right. What does butterfly symbolize? I'm about to.
And you know what's crazy? Like, we were in the backyard. Ever since I started seeing them and noticing them, I point them out to like anybody that I'd be like, oh my God, you see the butterflies? I get really excited. So my mom, we were in the backyard, and I was like, Mama, y'all got a bunch of butterflies back here. And she was like, I ain't never seen a butterfly. I lie to you not. Since that day, she always be like, Kira, I seen a butterfly. I think it's just something we don't pay attention to. But like, it's gotten to the point where, like, I look for like the meaning. Every time I see one, I go to Google and be like, what does a red butterfly mean? What does a green butterfly mean?
Girl, I'm over here Googling butterflies as you speak. Like,
it
right now.
It would be so applicable. It's so crazy because it'll be so applicable to whatever it is that I'm either worried about or thinking about at that moment. And it'll be like, okay, no, follow a dream, or keep persisting forward, or a new opportunity is coming. And I could be stressed out, like, I don't know what I'm going to do for Faith Loving You Camp.
Wow.
And green butterflies just, I'm like, okay, Lord, I feel like that's God's way of talking to me.
That's
like,
crazy.
Okay.
I'm reading this one right now, and it's like the magnificent life of a butterfly closely mirrors the process of spiritual transformation, a reminder that we each have a responsibility to be reborn through going within. And then this other one said, butterflies are deep and powerful representations of life. Many cultures associate the butterfly with our souls. The Christian religion sees the butterfly as a symbol of resurrection. Around the world, people view the butterfly as representing endurance, change, hope, and life. I'm over here reading up these butterflies. Okay, yeah. Butterfly.
I love them. Like, and so to go back to your question, although, you know, the most, you know, transformative relationship has been with myself, my relationships with people have also improved. I had to really take a look in the mirror, like at myself, instead of blaming everybody else, because I was the victimizer. Like, I was a victim. I was always the victim. Like, oh, it's me. Why nobody want to support me? Why nobody want to talk to me? And I'll be honest, like, that's learned behavior. So, and I thought it was normal. Like, I thought, like, I'm not a victim. Like, this is what happened. This is my truth. And yeah, it is your truth, but at the same time, you only control you. So yeah, okay, if you notice that these people are not supporting you, why are you vying for their love and their attention and their time when there's so many other people out here that you can be attracting to you that may not come to you because you're holding on to the wrong people? So what I have learned, because my good sister cousin, she don't hold no lip back, okay? And in moments,
contrary to popular belief, y'all really don't want to know what I be thinking up in this brain, y'all.
She be telling me,
but
she'll tell me in private though. She'll say it to me. She'll say it to me.
Oh, yeah.
And I used to be like, you don't know, these are my friends. And then like months later, I'd be like, Tequila, girl, I had to stop talking to so-and-so. And she'd be like, I told you. But if I would have, that comes from me having clouded vision, honestly. Like, because I was looking so hard, so much in the wrong places just to be or feel accepted. It's like, no, I don't judge my friendship off of how they treat me. I judge my friendship off of how I treat them. But really, that's a toxic view of what I felt like I deserved. I deserve for someone to treat me the same way that I'm treating them.
Yes.
And so with that, with my relationships with other people, it's allowed me to take my power back from people that I felt like I needed their approval, I needed their acceptance, I needed their friendship. And with my mom, it has helped me to forgive, because I had to understand, like, she was a kid when she started having kids. Like, she was a kid. So although I'm like, you're a mom, like, why don't you talk to me? And she's like, probably over there like, this girl is crazy, because I just be trying to go to work so I can feed her little hungry tail. And she's talking about talk to me. So I don't know who that is. Keep calling me, y'all.
You're all right, you good.
The hotline. But yeah, so it has tremendously helped. I'm not afraid or ashamed to talk to people about things being wrong. People's opinions don't really matter much to me. And I will also tell another tea. I am in a same-sex relationship, and that has played a major role over the course of my life, with the whole internalizing and not feeling good enough and all this stuff, because although I do not label myself, I'm not like, I don't fall into like a label or a category or anything. I'm just fluid. And for a long time, it used to bother me because I felt like people looked at me differently for it. But that was like because of what I was dealing with, because of, being in a same-sex relationship. And then also because of my faith and my religious beliefs, according to common folk, to the Christian folk, I ain't supposed to. But I had to learn God's love for myself. And that played a major role in my mental health as well. So, I mean, it's a lot of different facets, but my reason for starting my nonprofit organization was because when I was that age, between those age groups of 12 and 17, that's when I started to feel like, okay, maybe I don't fit in. Maybe I am different. And I wanted people, I would have benefited from somebody telling me or coming to me as an older person or older young lady saying, you're beautiful, and affirming my beauty and letting me know that my differences are what make me beautiful, and giving me tools on how to deal with maybe not the best home environment, maybe not choosing the best friends, maybe not liking what I see when I look back at myself in the mirror, so that was my role, or my goal rather, with creating that nonprofit organization, to create a safe space for girls to be able to have somebody to talk to and confide in that can relate. Like, so that you're not growing up like, okay, when I'm 19 and about to graduate from college, even, I'm gonna commit suicide. No. No, here go some tools. We're going to do this work now and understand that every day is not going to be a good day, but every day is worth living.
That's good. I was you said something back when you were, well, to address you saying the best relationship is the relationship that you have with yourself. I think that's so important because I think in order for us to change, like we have to first, you know, recognize the parts that we're playing into whatever situation that come, and we've got to change for ourselves before we can enter new relationships with people and, you know, make a better and see a positive change within those relationships with other people. You know, we have to make a change for ourselves. So I like when you said that, but also when you were saying, you know, how you were going out through the day, like you were always the person smiling and feeling like you were wearing a mask. Because girl, that was me. Like I didn't even know that I was, you know, struggling with mental health because
I wish my air would cut off.
Because I was like, what is she doing?
I feel like it's loud. Okay, anyway, sorry.
Okay, no.
We can't hear it.
Yeah, I can't hear it either. I don't know if I'll hear it in the playback, but I don't hear it now. But so yeah, I was that girl that I felt like I was always, you know, had to have my hair done, I always had to dress up, I always had to look so, you know, so I guess perfect to an intent. And I was actually playing in that role. Like I had to, you know, had to have the good grades, had to have this, you know, had to be this image of perfection. And that was this image I realized that people were also looking at me, that I was like some image as perfection. And I was like, I'm not perfect. And to be honest, like everything that y'all think is so great about my life, I absolutely hate. I hate about it. Like when me and my 3 friends, we came up with a broken vessels. That was the stance that I stood on, that, you know, I'm not perfect. No far by I'm perfect. I struggle the same way you struggle. They might look different, but the emotions that we're feeling, I'm feeling those same emotions. And that's when I really came into like, you know, I'm struggling internally and mentally. And it wasn't until I took a pay cut from a job, and because I was so depressed at that job, I took a pay cut, got a job that I was content with. I was happy. I felt like I was doing something better, but I couldn't really afford, like, I don't know when I thought I could really afford all of these bundles and things, but apparently I could afford it. I can't afford it now, but I don't know how I be thinking back, y'all, like, how, you know, how did I afford it?
Me too, like.
Okay, it be working out.
Like I really be thinking, like, I used to make $200 at this little part-time job, and I used to be buying $600 bundles. Like, who does that? But at this particular time, when I was working at this job that I hate, like, I was making decent money, so I could afford the nicer things. But when I quit that job,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
When I quit that job and I started this other job, I remember going into the mall. And some of my old coworkers, because I used to work in the mall, were like, asked one of my friends, like, why does Ashley look like that? And I was like, what? Why is she was saying, she was like, yo, her hair wasn't done. And I think I had it like in my natural state. So y'all know how that is with natural hair. You know what I'm saying? You got good and bad hair days. Yeah, they like legit asked her, was like, what was wrong with me? And they were just like, because her hair wasn't done, like she wasn't, you know, all dolled up. And I was like, that's funny, because I was like, on the inside, I might not look all prim and pretty like I used to be, but on the inside, I felt so much better about myself, so much confident about myself. But the time when I was feeling so not confident about myself is when I looked so nice that y'all never even thought to ask me how I was doing.
Yep.
And now I'm like, so now I was like, now people are seeing me. So I had to realize, like, it's okay not to put on a pretty face. It's okay to let people see that, you know, you're hurting and you can be upset. You don't always have to, you know, feel like you're putting on this image for perfection. So I done had to go through that. So that had to told me when you said that, because I was like, that is me. Yes.
Okay, so mine is the complete opposite of y'all. Because y'all know I ain't putting on no mask. But it was on the whole opposite side of the spectrum. Like, I'm living, like, not happy, but I guess I may be taking it out on other people. I don't know if that's the right term for it, but I wasn't wearing a mask. Like I still get annoyed pretty easily, but I was annoyed to like no return over little stuff. Like I could literally hear, we could be having a conversation and you wouldn't even do anything wrong. Like you would just literally breathe the wrong way. And now I got attitude. Like it's just like, and I
reminds
can't hide
me
it.
of somebody I know.
Don't do my So yeah, it's like I don't think I've ever worn a mask. Like I think what I do is just completely shut off. So it's just like I might turn my phone on airplane mode for literally days. Text my mom like, hey, I'm gonna turn my phone on airplane mode, or whoever. And so I think that's what I had to deal with. Now I still get in my little moods every once in a while, but I don't think it's anywhere near as what it used to be. Or I would just, if we had a disagreement or something like that, I'm just snapping, like, just like that. Instead of listening, I'm listening to respond, not listening to understand. Right. So I feel like it's just so many different things that people have to deal with. And you don't even realize, or maybe you do realize there's an issue, but you don't know how to fix it. You don't know where to start. You don't know who to go to. And like you said about shame, like that shame is real. Like people need to understand. That's why I'm glad as a society people are talking about it more, because like you said, the Black community, we don't talk about none of that.
We don't.
Like, I have never had a conversation with my mom about my feelings. Like, unless I was crying and she like, oh, well, stop crying. I'm gonna give you something to cry about. You know what I'm saying? Not down my mama, but that's just how our community was. Like, I feel like my mom, I could have went to my mom, but I just felt like nobody's gonna understand, because it's just like, oh, what Tequila complaining about now, or my issues aren't serious because I'm looked at as, also because I'm looked at as the strong friend, or
yes,
I'm just looked at as somebody who doesn't have any issues or something like that. So it's just like, I feel like, oh, well, I guess I just got to figure it out on my own. But no, you don't.
Yes, I've gotten that before. I have gotten that, oh, we read you or we tell you, this, we don't sugarcoat things with you or take it nice with you because, oh, you're the stronger friend and it's like your feelings don't matter. I'm like, no, I still have feelings. I'm still a human being. Like, you know what I'm saying? If this is something that I'm passionate or, that could possibly hurt my feelings, like I still want you to take in regard my feelings, you know what I'm saying? Right. And be, be a little empathetic with me about whatever's going on. I'm not telling that you, tell a lie, to try to save from hurting me, but, don't just step all over me.
But you don't have to say
that I'm gonna say. I hate that.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And I've learned that, everything don't have to be said. Like, I mean, I don't know how y'all dealt with me and all my friends and family. I just feel like, because my mama used to tell me all the time, like, I'll say something to my cousin or say something to somebody. My mom just be like, why you had to say that? Like, why couldn't you just leave it alone? And I'm like, because I have to say it. Like, but some things are better left unsaid. Like, I had to learn that everything does not need a response. Like, if I want to say something and I feel like it's not or I feel like it may hurt somebody's feelings, or it's not coming from a good place, or they don't need to hear that, I can write it down. Like, if I need to get it out, I can put it somewhere else. It doesn't have to be, given to them. I had to learn that as well. It's like, some stuff, it's like, yes, there's an issue, from your past or whatever, but it does come a point where you have to be an adult and you have to look in the mirror and you have to realize what is wrong with you. Because it can be other things going on, and our past is the reason we are who we are. So that plays a part, but there comes a time where we have to stop being like, oh, I didn't have a dad growing up. Oh, my mom wasn't loving enough. Oh, I went through this, I went through that. And your points are valid. Like, you can feel those feelings, but if it's affecting other people and it's affecting yourself, then you just have to look in the mirror and say, what can I do now?
Yeah. Right. To make it better. Yeah, I definitely agree. And to get on point to make a point about parents, my parents are, I felt like I've always wanted to like express myself to my parents, but they're the type of people, they're so old school that they're would be
now
like
her parents old school. You want to talk about old school?
yeah, my parents old school. Like
they cool.
they actually took me to therapy when I was younger, but I didn't enjoy it because I didn't trust the lady because I felt like it was like an ulterior motive. And then when I think we went to family therapy, or we had like a family therapy one-sided, I was like, y'all are still not listening. Like, there's no point of us to be in therapy if it's going to be all about what me and my brother need to change, and there's no change on the parental side. So I was like, this is not effective. And my parents are the type of parents that they just who they are. And I think that's one thing that I've had to learn. Like, and I just had, I think things that are going to be confrontational, I've had to learn how to be like, this is not I'm coming to you for you to just simply listen. I don't need a response. I don't need a rebuttal. There's really not like, I've had to say things like that because they'll just start blurting off. And they're just type of parents that are, and when it comes, like I told them the other day, I was like, I'm struggling mentally. They still problematic. You think they left me alone? No. I said, leave me alone. They all up in my space. I guess, and for me, I'm like, okay, maybe they're trying to show me some type of,
they just don't know the correct
way. Yeah, so they're trying. So I didn't allow that to affect me. I looked at it as a way. Like back then I would have been pissed. I would have went off. But now I was like, okay, let me look at this as a way of them trying to deal with a child that has mental health, that is struggling with depression. But they're really the type of parents that just are get over it. We sweep that under the rug, baby, and we, it's anything bad that happens.
Most parents are. I think that's how most of my friends that I know, people around me that I know, grew up. Like I don't. It's just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We live in a cruel world, and I feel like that's just how they were brought up. It's just like, oh, get over it, do something about it, and it's like, yeah, but sometimes I can't just get over it. Like I get.
Because like everything has a process. It's a process to make rice. It's a process to make diamonds. It's a process. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a process to everything. So when you think about like somebody saying like just get over it, well, if there's a process to these things, I'm a human. I have to go through my process as well, and I cannot just get over it. I'm not just going to get over it. But we, especially we as women and African American women, have been taught generationally to just get over it because our parents do their best, I do believe, but they only do what they know. Like they were raised. I know my mom, like grandma was like, get over it. Like, okay, what we gonna do to fix it? Like, I don't want to hear about what's wrong. Like, what we're going to do to fix it. Okay, you had a baby. Okay, so you're going to go get this job and you're going to get.
We don't want to hear about how you
feeling. Your problems, your feelings.
We don't want to hear about nothing, none of your feelings. We want to know what you want to do.
What we going to do now?
And I have that mentality too a little bit. Like, do y'all see those, I guess, generational, I don't know if they curses or.
I would say generational habits.
Habits, yeah.
Those
that
are
come back.
habits.
That fall into you. Sometimes you see yourself. I definitely have that one. I'd be like, how we fix this problem? Like, I don't be having to dwell, and I sometimes have to step back and be like, hold up, wait a minute. Like like you said, it's a process to this. And
I mean, it's okay to say how can we fix this, but if I'm coming to you telling you how, like, if I'm feeling bad and you're telling me get over it, what you gonna do? Like, you're not even caring about. There's no empathy.
Yeah,
like I don't need.
I don't do that. Yeah,
I don't need your sympathy, but empathy would be nice sometimes.
Yeah.
You better give me some empathy because my cutoff game these days is strong.
Listen, y'all cousins, and that's how you know they're cousins, okay? Because they be cutting these people off.
That's why I always say I'm on the opposite spectrum. Like, how people who, my dad wasn't always in my life. So yeah.
She froze.
Yeah. These bad relationships.
Hold up. You repeat it. You froze. You coming back.
Oh my God. Am I still frozen?
No, but you can see your Wi-Fi was coming back together.
It was rebooting.
This is why I'm on my phone and it's still acting up. But anyway, so I'm saying, I forgot what I was saying.
You were saying how people, go ahead.
Yeah, like how some people who may not have a father in their life or have these parental issues or just issues in general life, and they throw themselves into these relationships or just looking for love anywhere. And that's why I say I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum, honey, because I don't trust nobody. Like, to the point where I will cut you off for the smallest things. So I just feel like there's some good in that, but I had to realize, like, that's not positive all the time. Like, I can't just be cutting people off, because what if I mess up with somebody else and I need a second chance and they cut me off? How would I'm gonna be a hypocrite, because it's just like, if they would have did this to me, or if it was somebody else, I would have just cut them off, thought nothing of it, and went on about my life. So how can I expect the same from my friends if I'm not even doing that? You know what I'm saying?
And see, for me, like to that point, like, well, Tequila, no, I was forgiving people to a fault, like, get like over and over and over and over, and I was just like, no, this is what you're supposed to do. I'm just supposed to forgive them. Like, I really don't want to cut them off. I really do love them. Like, I really do, and I still love them. Like, to this day, I still love them, but I don't talk to them. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's the difference. Like, I will still give chances, but you're not gonna make a fool of me.
Yeah,
you're not gonna continue to make a fool of me. But I think that just goes to, like, I now know what I'm worth and what I deserve, and I know what I'm putting out too. So I'm not like just coming to the table like, bring me the meal. No, I'm gonna bring half of the meal, and you bring the other half, and we're gonna sit and we're gonna dine together. Now, if there's ever a point sometimes where you do 60 and I do 40, and you do 40 and I do 60, then okay, that's cool. But it cannot be a consistent, you doing 40 and I'm doing 60. That's not about to happen. Like, that can't be consistent. And my thing now too, if I brought it to your attention, I have an issue with I haven't yet worked through that part about myself yet. Like, if I bring it to your attention in any way, I'm learning to be more direct, without thinking like I'm hurting people's feelings. Yeah, I'm learning to be more direct without thinking I'm hurting people's feelings, because I be like, oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings. But I'm learning how to say stuff now. Huh?
You be direct.
Yeah, I'm learning, girl. I'm learning now. So, and like, but I have to remember, like, I constantly check myself, because, like, I'll be in like a little squabble with like a friend, and I'll be like, I'm not talking to her. She ain't even check on me. Like, I'm not talking to her. And I won't text. Like, I'll get stubborn and I won't text. But my girlfriend helped me to realize, like, if this is something, a relationship that you value, then you put the work in. And if you don't value it, or it's no longer something that you are getting substance from, no matter how much you care about the person, if it's not providing you any substance, then okay, you can walk away with a clear conscience. And so I use that, and I apply that in a lot of areas of my life. I mean, family too. You know,
it's about to say.
Yeah, because and that's the difference. Like, I can walk away now and not think twice about it. Like, I don't have there's no pulling on my heartstrings. It's nothing, because I know I put the work in to try to work it out and try to let you. I keep giving you chances, but you can't continue to hurt me, because I know my worth. And I love me. I love you, but I love me more to not stay in this toxic situation. So if that makes or means that I have to remove myself from it, meaning you, then so be it. And it's no beef. It's no animosity. There's no hate. There's none of that. I love you and I wish you well. And I'm still going to pray God's blessings all over you. And I want to see you do well. And when you do well, I'm going to applaud you. But we do not, for my health, for my peace, we cannot be in the same environment. We cannot converse. You do not need to text me. You do not need to call me.
Right. No. Well, I do want to make something clear. Now, I'm still cutting people off, okay? Don't think you can just treat me any kind of way and think. Now, the people I love, my little circle,
Right.
I'll work for that. Now, if you a little straggler on the outside of the circle, I'm cutting you off, okay? Ain't
Not
no
a
work.
straggler.
No work being put in at all, and that's family included. Okay. And I need to say, let's just talk about this family thing, because I just need people to know, just because we have the same blood does not mean that you are entitled to anything from me or anyone else. And I need people to understand that. Like, I think now with my family, I'm a little bit more lenient. People probably don't think that, but I am, because it's just like, I might not say everything or every time I've thought something when it comes to family, but I'm gonna get to a point where I'm just gonna be like, okay, well, you blocked. Like, I don't have time. Like, I don't have time to discuss it, especially if you know what you're doing. Like, I just hate family that feels like you owe them
entitled.
something.
Yeah. It's entitlement.
Especially when you ain't even out here. I got my, like, I'm not even all the way together. How do you expect me to fix you and help you with what you doing?
And be mad.
Don't you hate that? I hate that. I can't stand that, because people, like, I like nice things. I like.
I'm so sorry.
Water. Let me get some water. I'm still living.
Because I had to cough at the same time. And
I already said it.
I'm sorry, that was a little bit of word about me. I apologize. I tried to hold it in. And
Ashley, I already said coronavirus. You don't hear it when you play it back.
Oh, okay. I was like, no, don't come out, no. And it came out anyway. Because I had to cough too, and I was like, wait, let me mute. And then you coughed like as soon as I was trying to do it. Okay. I'm sorry.
I like nice things. And, you know, for 6 years, I was working for a company and I was making bomb money. So I was able to afford like nice things, but I wasn't spending a lot of money on nice things. And contrary to popular belief, family included, you know, the family that I don't really talk to like that just be seeing me in passing, they'll always be like, oh, you got money, oh this, oh that. Well, I received that. I receive it. Keep on speaking into my life, because I'm receiving it, okay?
I like y'all. No, I like that. I like that.
I'm receiving it. But let's not be confused. I work for everything that I have. And you will not ever be able to come to me for a handout. You will not, because when I was down, nobody was handing me nothing but my mama, my grandma, and my cousin. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, the reason why is because I get out and I go to work. And I have other family members like my mother who is working with a back condition, doing labor work, and still goes out and goes to work. But we have some family members that will be like, oh, they got money. Oh, can I get such and such? Can I get such and such? And it's like, can you go to work? Go to work. Go find a job. Like, there are jobs you can get, and I'm not, advertising anybody to go out here and do anything illegal. I am not. But you can get some under the table jobs.
Do what you got to do, black people.
Take your money back then, black woman.
Learn a trade, learn a skill, do something. But you cannot be a beggar. You cannot.
And let me be clear. Like, I'm not gonna say I don't never help people. Well, people know not. No,
because you be helping me. So let's be clear.
No, people know not to come to me, okay? All these people here talking about, honey, they don't be on my line. Because don't come to me. But some people do. But I'm just saying, if I
don't use me. Just don't use me.
If I don't see you try, you know what? Let me just throw out a little scenario. I wasn't going to say it, but hell, I'm going to say it. So, scenario, Columbia, South Carolina, 5 years ago, maybe. I'm sitting in my room at my house. I get a call from somebody. I ain't gonna say, what they are to me.
A phone wrong.
I get a call from somebody.
Said that a phone wrong.
And they was like, hey, can you put me on your phone bill? And I said, now this person didn't have no job. So I said, are you gonna pay the bill? Like, y'all know what they told me. They said, no, you got a job, you can pay the bill.
Now that's out of control.
That's
Y'all,
entitlement. That's definition of entitlement. Like,
and this is how I know I had changed at that moment, because I didn't curse. I don't remember. I didn't hang up. I just explained to them, like, I have a job and I have bills. Like, I work to pay these bills. I'm not out here. Even if I did, honestly, even if I did have this extra $100 a month to be giving you, no, you're not even trying.
You can't be an enabler, because they'll never get up and get a job or be able to pay for stuff on their own.
I'm not an enabler at all. So I was like, and I still didn't cut them off, y'all. See how it worked, but they cut off now.
Right.
But I didn't cut them off for that, but I should. But I'm just like, and they had the nerve to have an attitude with me because I would not put them on my phone bill and pay their bill. Like, listen, I understand, like, people have it hard, like, you have things going on, but I need people to realize, because this person thinks that from the outside looking in, the way I grew up, they think I just had the perfect life of growing up. They think I just have all these things because I was given. My mama is a single mother. My mama did her best with what she could do, but I was never just given anything, like, ever. My first car, I paid for that. Yep. Insurance, car note, all of that. And that's not just to say, like, oh, whoa, it's me, but it's just like, don't look at me like and even if I was given that, you are still not entitled to the money I'm making. Like, you're still not entitled to that. Like, I'm sorry. So it's just like, I just could not believe this person had the nerve. I just could not believe it, y'all. I was like in complete shock. But it's things like that is like, you realize people just got to work on themselves. Like, I just had to, like, that person I had to pray about, because it's some other stuff that I don't want to get into, that I was trying to hold on to that relationship. But it just came a time where I had to pray about it and let it go.
Sometimes you just have to love people from afar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
it's like them while you loving them.
Yeah. I wanna get, because Kira said earlier, you know, it's hard, one being woman, but being a Black woman and then having these mental health issues. I want to know, has it been a factor with y'all in the workplace?
Okay, that's so ironic that you asked that question.
That's about to be 3 hours.
I want to know.
Yes, for me, yes. And it's so crazy because the place where I was working at, where I was making all that money, I quit last May. And I quit because of stress. I was in therapy. I had stopped going to therapy for like 3 months. And I was like, okay, I got to go back. Because I had took a new position at the job. And it was in a new department. And you would have thought I thought like, oh, I'm going to have some peace, finally. Totally opposite. Like, they were breaking a few laws. I could have sued them, to be honest. I could have, but it was just not worth the stress at the time. Right. They get sued like so much. But like, I was stressed to the point where my therapist, who has known me for years at this point, was like, she prescribed me medication so that I could sleep, so that I could function through the day, and another one to take the edge off. Like, and I was like, that for me was like, no, because I wasn't having anxiety attacks until it was time for me to get dressed and go to work. I was fine. Like, I was fine everywhere else, around anybody else, doing anything else. And when it was time for me to get dressed and go to work, it was just the hardest thing. And it literally feels like a 400-pound person is sitting right here. That's how it feels, if I could describe it. And it's like just that pressure. And then next thing you know, you're crying, you can't breathe, you're just heavy breathing, trying to catch your breath. And for a long time, I couldn't understand, like, what is going on with me? Like, maybe it's just my asthma. Like, I don't know, but I don't like it. But I'm emotional. Like, what's happening? And it was anxiety. And I
You
had
know what?
to like
Not to cut you out, because you can get back, but you just made a revelation for me. I didn't realize anxiety was a part of mental health, because I've always struggled with anxiety.
Do you
Yes,
know
you
what the
did.
definition of
And
anxiety is?
Charlamagne say that every day.
You know what he do, but it's never clicked. It's never clicked until right now.
Is directly connected to what you think.
That's what he said.
It's directly connected to what you think and how you think. So if you think about, like, if you're overthinking, that's what it is. You're overthinking something, and your emotions regarding that overthought is getting the best of you. And to get a control of it, you have to center your thoughts and focus on your breathing.
Yo. Okay,
well,
go ahead.
I completely understand that. You done?
Yeah. I mean, that's the gist of it. Like, yes, it affected me in my workplace, and I quit. And when I left, I was scared out of my mind. I thought I was going to lose everything I had. I was like, oh my God, they're going to take my car. They're going to take this. I'm going to get evicted. I didn't get evicted. Okay, I didn't get evicted. My car is paid for. Like, I mean, all these things without this job that I was holding on to that was causing me so much stress. And I have another job. I don't make as much money as I used to make, but guess what? I've been able to do a lot of things that I wasn't able to do, making a whole bunch of money at the place that was about to kill me. So heck yeah, every day. And people at the job, I would say at the job is where, like, because I grew up kind of in that company. So when I had another position where I was living elsewhere, that's when I was dealing with like major depression and suicide. And I thankfully had a manager at the time.
Lord, my bad.
I thankfully had a manager at the time that I could talk to. She was like a mama figure at work, like a work mama. And she really carried me through that time, but she was a Black lady, you know, I hate to make it a race thing, and I don't think it is a race thing, but that was just my situation. Like, the other department where I was in, the last one, my director, she was a white lady. She wasn't trying to, she was thinking I was making excuses and, you know, all this other stuff. But in the other department, when I actually was really like deep rooted in and going through stuff, the Black lady wasn't allowing me to make it or use it as an excuse to not come to work and to not do my job. But when I needed a moment, she recognized it and allowed me to take it.
Yeah, I completely understand. I mean, on top of me being tequila and being like upset, it was just, I don't know. I feel like in a lot of jobs, like one job that me and Ashley had in common, honey, that job was my introduction to like the real world, kind of like. And it was to the point where I have sensitive skin, everybody knows. I have eczema. My skin was the worst it has ever been till this day. I didn't know any of this correlated until I left. My eczema was breaking out really bad. I was throwing up before work, like crying my eyes out. My mom would have to talk me off the ledge, literally. Like, there was one day I called my mom. I said, Mom, how much of them bonds I got when I was a little girl, like how much they cost now? They probably ain't up $5, $10 bonds, y'all. I'm thinking I got thousands. She talking about, girl, it has not been 25, 30 years. No. And I was like, well, how much you think I can get for all these stuffed animals I got? I was trying to look to see if I had a collector's item. Y'all, it was so serious. My mom literally had to talk me off the ledge for 2 hours to not just walk out of that job. Now, my granny, when she found out, she said, oh, no. It ain't working. She did understand, but not my mom. You need to stay to February to that bonus. And I'm like, Mom, like, I said, I don't care about getting evicted. They can come get this car. She like, your credit. I said, I don't care about my credit. I don't care about nothing. Everybody that know me knows I care about my credit. So y'all know.
Yes.
So, got out of that situation. Went to another company. That one wasn't bad. The next two companies wasn't bad. Then I got to the one that me and Shekerah share. You know what I'm saying? And that one, I think I was stressed, but I don't think it was as bad. I mean, going through this last situation, I'm looking back like I should have stayed there. You know what I'm saying? So, but in the workplace, to your original question, that's where I think where it's just like, I just feel like me, I don't know if it's just me or just because I'm Black, but I just feel like I don't get the same leniency as maybe my white counterparts. Like, I can't come in and have a bad day and it's not talked about. Oh, but let Susie over here say the same thing I'm saying, acting 10 times worse.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing is done. And I'm just like, because I'm not the type. Now, I was at work. I used to be the type where, complete opposite of who I am, go in there, be quiet, do my job, don't talk to nobody, don't make no friends, and go home. And when I got to, you know, the other company, I was just like, okay, I'm going to just talk, like, who wants to do that? Like, I need to talk to somebody. So it's just like, and I finally felt comfortable. I had been with the company for 3.5 years, but this time I think it was 2 years. So I'm like, okay, we cool. And then things started to happen, and it's just like, y'all put us in this environment, and you expect us to tolerate anything.
Yeah. Like
and
robots.
then when we speak up about it, it's a problem.
Yep.
So that was that. And then this last situation that I just got out of, when I tell y'all, I can't even put into words how much I hated going into that place. Like, I would tell my supervisor, my manager, I told management, they're the worst man. I got to a point where I didn't care. It was the worst management I had ever been under. They don't know what they're doing, because my problem with them is it was an open door policy until somebody like me called them on something that they were doing wrong. It was proven that they were doing wrong, but they never wanted to take responsibility, and then they wanted to make it seem like I was the bad person. Mm-hmm. No. And so, you know, I got to a point where I was acting a damn fool, because what you're not going to do is make me think I'm stupid. I do my job. I'm the best person on this damn team y'all got. And that's another thing. Every job I have, I'm in the top performing percentile. So that's too much you can do. So, like, I just got to a point where I didn't care this previous job. But I want to tie all together with saying, oh, and my supervisor acted like she cared. She was, I believe she was half Black. I don't know. I think she considered herself a Black woman. But she pretended that she cared and all this other stuff. But when it came down to it, baby, you in this alone. Like, do not trust nobody at these jobs. Like, don't.
Because, you know, supervisors are paid to, like, pretend like they are your advocate.
Yeah.
When really, they're not your advocate. And I only know that from when I was there and how we would be in those management meetings and how they would come down on us. But behind closed doors, the supervisors are treated like rodents. And we don't, there was no type of protection, like nothing. No, like an agent could be like, oh, she threatened me on the floor. And they would take the agent's word without talking to the supervisor, saying nothing to the supervisor. But then I'm the person that's, as a supervisor, I'm supposed to put all these mandates in order. You tell me, oh, the dress code changed and this goes into effect today. So I got questions. Wait a minute. And I was that supervisor. Like, okay, I'm thinking like an agent at this point, and I need to, because I'm the ones that have to deal with my agents. These are my, like, I took them in like my babies. Like, they're my kids. I want to protect them. Really. I'm not faking it. So I'm in the meetings asking questions like, okay, well, is there going to be like a uniform allowance? Is there going to be time? You know, am I expected to write them up if they don't be in uniform? And then because I'm, like you said, asking questions, I'm asking questions to understand. But because I was always performing in the top percentile, they were always coming to me for ideas on this and ideas on that. I was the most educated and I was the youngest. They're like, no, she needs to do this, put on this board, put on that board. And I would excel at everything, not because I think I'm the best, but just because I took time to learn it. I just took time to learn it. But when I speak up, I'm an angry Black girl. Oh, that's the young, hot-headed, angry Black girl. I'm not angry. I'm asking questions because I truly don't understand. Is it wrong for me to not understand? So yeah,
that's how I am. Like like I was saying, that the job that I just left, it was everything I always said in there. Like, I don't care how I said it. I don't care. I mean, I could have just, I don't know, whatever I said was not received at all. But a month later, everything I said came true. So I'm just like, and I'm not about to be humble about it at this point. Like, y'all done pushed me to a point where I'm like, I told you. Like, y'all want to sit here and listen, especially my supervisor. I was an advocate for her ass because everybody on the team hated her. They probably still hate her now. I'm going to send her the link so she can listen. They all hated her. I was taken up for her. Like, literally taken up for her. But when I get in the meetings, it's like, well, you seem like you're the only one with the problem. And I'm like, me? I'm like, everybody feels like I feel just because I'm the only vocal one about it.
Right.
Fine. Okay, then you see people quitting left and right because they hate it. True feelings coming out. Oh, I'm the only one that felt like that, right? So I say all that to say it's just some bullshit. But now I will say that, you know, I'm still trying to let go of this mindset that I had in those jobs that I hated, because I've been with the job I have now for 2 months, and I know it's early, but I've never had, like, I guess because the team is smaller, like, the team is so supportive, like, they're uplifting, and working from home, it's like, people can go ghost quick, but they're not like that. They're responsive. But I will say there was this one, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, where I was just, I didn't know what to do. Like, it was something new. I didn't understand it. And I guess I was being hard on myself because I usually learn things quickly. But yeah, I was crying like the night before. I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, turned on my work computer and was doing research because I was like, I got to have this before 8 o'clock. When we don't even have no time limit on nothing that got to be done. But I was like, I got to know. Like, stressing myself out. The next day was the best day that I had all week. I'm like, I have to stop putting pressure on myself just because of the negative things that I've experienced. Because I'm like, well, what do they say? Oh, I'm not picking up this or whatever. That's only because I had a negative mindset a couple months ago. I was in such a terrible place. So I just have to learn that, you know, every environment is not the same.
That's right.
It's hard. I mean, it is hard being Black and trying to express yourself. Like, I don't understand how, I still don't know the line because I haven't had an issue at this job yet. So I don't know when one comes up. And it's just like, I go out of my way sometimes to not be that person.
Yeah.
But then you still are
you still get categorized.
Yeah. That's
be me then, shit.
Well, that's what I wanted to get to, because I feel like that's one thing, especially in my profession in the film and television industry. I haven't really experienced it too well, other than the one we've had in common. But because I know early on that, like, working for people, working for the man just wasn't going to be for me. Like, I just just by all the experiences that y'all talked about, I was like, I can't experience this. Then I step into what I feel called to do, which is filmmaking, and I experience that. And it's like, dang, like, I can't even be doing, like, y'all are calling me, y'all are asking me to be on y'all sets, like, I'm here because y'all want me to be here. But the second I ask a question, the second I say, okay, I need this done, now I'm speaking up too much, or I'm too aggressive. And I'm like, no.
Aggressive.
Like,
that's the word.
That's the one I always get. And I'm like, now y'all are afraid of me. And I'm like, when y'all get on these big sets in front of these main, you know, filmmakers, like these famous directors and stuff, this is how they're running their sets. And y'all, I went through film school feeling like, oh my gosh, like, no, like, so misunderstood. Like, thankfully I had a group of Black filmmakers, you know, that was my core that, like, I could express it to. And shout out to my, you know, two homegirls, Paris and Kay, because they really helped me down. And I always would have to have them on my set and talk to them like what I needed, because I was like, I promise y'all, I am not doing nothing different than what these other white people are doing. And y'all, when I went on my first feature film set, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be myself. Y'all are, I'm already kind of shy. I'm gonna lay back, but I'm gonna do my job. When I tell y'all, I had like one of the best reviews from they were white men. They were like I walked on set one day just getting my breakfast, and I overheard him talking to the dean about how good I was. And in my head, this whole time in school, I am like, I'm not doing nothing different on these small film sets with my friends or my classmates or my peers, but they're treating me so like like I'm the biggest fear or whatever. And
that's why.
Making me so insecure, less confident about what I'm doing. And then I'm on this professional set, and I'm just doing, of course, because you want to be seen, I'm trying to make the connection, because, I got to think about myself. It's a dog eat dog world. So I'm like, okay, I got to make sure I stand out. So I'm doing that. And I'm getting a great review to the fact that they're like, nah, we want you on set every week. Bump who else they got signed up. Like, we want the crew that's here right now. Period. And I'm like, I remember sitting in my car and like typing in my notes, like, I've been talking, like hyping myself up, saying, you can't listen to all that chatter over there and listen to what people are saying about you when you know that you're doing something. And especially when you know that you've been called into something, like, you can't let other people dictate your craft or your ability to do something great. Because I was letting them white kids like feed into me and feed into that insecurity that I didn't know what I was doing. And that's
what they want. That's what
I did not like to the fact. And then you know what else happened for our filmmaker our showcase? I ended up winning best cinematography. Unexpected.
Come on, award.
Unexpected. I'm sitting there like, let me tell y'all. Let me set the mood. So one Kay's film was. Let me have a story time. So Kay's film. Matter of fact, we were on a set. We were working on this set. This was one that says they were already kind of, being rough on me, but I was really close with the director, and I had Kay with me, and I was like, listen, like, I really want, because they kind of come at him too about his films not being good, and I was like, no, I really want this. I'm gonna push you. Can y'all hear the baby?
A little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah.
It's fine. I didn't know what it was.
Oh, okay. They're playing. So, I was like, I'm gonna push you. I'm gonna make this like a really dope film. Like, you can submit this so you can have it, for your film career. Like, I'm thinking best interest for the director. So these people they're stressing me out, but I'm like, whatever. This is my friend. I'm doing this for my friend. So I'm not even gonna let people, say what they want. They can say what they want to say about me, because this ain't even about me right now. You know what I'm saying? So the same day we had our film showcase, we had to work on set. So I'm like, it's okay. Like, everybody, y'all want to go. Kaylin's, her film was in the showcase. I was like, y'all need to leave early. Everybody can leave. I was like, me and the director will stay. If the actors can stay, we'll get whatever we need to get done. So we did that. Boom. I get home to the room. I'm like, it's supposed to be like kind of fancy. And I'm like, I ain't, my stuff not in there, whatever. So I was, I was running late. So I was like, okay, I'm going to just throw on this little throw-on dress.
I was hungry. To be prepared.
So I had this little throw-on dress and a jean jacket, because I knew it was gonna be cold, and my little dirty chucks, because we had dirty white chucks. We all have these dirty white chucks. So I threw that on. No, I think I did. I think I took off the chucks and I put on my sandals. I was like, let me be a little bit classy, and I said, let me put on some sandals. I think I put on some sandals. And then I was like, I'm hungry because I've been on set all day. So y'all pull up the Chick-fil-A. And I don't never carry no bag or no purse or nothing. I always have a clutch. So I done carried a purse because I stuffed my Chick-fil-A in it so I can carry my Chick-fil-A in the auditorium and eat my Chick-fil-A. Front row. So my other roommate, he done got dressed up, but he come late. And I'm like, Lamar, I got to eat the rest of the Chick-fil-A. So I'm in the front row eating my Chick-fil-A, and we watch all the films, and then they're giving out awards. And so, all of a sudden, I hear my name called, and I'm like, wait, what is going on? Kay like, go, that's you. And I'm like, look at me, like, I got Chick-fil-A in my hand. I'm trying to hide the cup. I'm running up on stage looking a mess, y'all. I am like, this was so unexpected. Y'all, after that day, like my other professors, they were like, Ashley, that was so great. I heard you did so great on the feature film. Like, you know, you've been really the big talk. Other people, like other actors that I might have had, like, you know, because like people would talk. So people would say like I think people were like saying bad things about me. So I remember a guy, like there was a bad experience. He ran up to me and he was like, listen, if anything you want to shoot, you want to film, he was like, I'm down to film with you. Like, I see now that, you know what I'm saying, why you put pressure on people on set and why you handle your way on set, because you're about getting these awards. You're about getting the business. You're about getting the shot. You're about the work. And I'd be like, that's all it was. Like when I was shooting this web series for one of my good friends, I was like, she was like, she just wasn't talking. So she would call me crockpot because she was like, Ashley, you slow to warm up, but when you do, you taste good, girl. You got it. And I was like, so I've had to learn through my experience. Like I don't always have to be, you know, so serious. So now I do. I try to joke. I try to have a little fun, especially on small, you know, low budget and stuff, because I don't want to have
to make these white people feel comfortable. Let me.
I don't want to have to make
Michael Jordan just said in the last.
But I would do that.
Michael Jordan said, I'm not asking nothing of you that I can't do and don't do myself. So all the stuff you was asking of them, you were doing the work yourself. So you ain't got to feel bad, and you ain't got to
lower yourself,
motherfucker. I ain't got to come into work telling y'all about my damn weekend. Nobody need to know. I'm here to work.
That
and
was
like
me.
When you okay, so both of y'all were at my event, my when I did the Beauty Beyond the Mirror, the Faith Loving You camp.
We're not gonna just run across that. We're just not gonna run across that. Bomb, you know what I'm saying? Setting that up for, you know, Black women. It was, you know,
she threw me into it, y'all. I didn't know what I signed up for. She texted me talking about, hey, can you help me with this? And I was like, okay, yeah. Whatever you need.
She get there, she'll man like a little.
She's like, oh, well, can you host
workshop?
I need to talk to a bunch of. I was like, wait. But I am good. Kira be pulling stuff out of me. I would have never done that for nobody else. Like, I'm not about to talk to no group of girls about. I forgot what my topic was, but about.
It's okay to not be okay.
Yes, it's okay. I'm like, what I'm gonna say? Like, I ain't got nothing to say. I don't know how to talk, but it was perfect.
Yes,
the event was great.
I know you had it, girl.
But go ahead.
Like, when I was doing that though, like even preparing for it, when I do anything, but that was the first time I had done like an event like for myself that wasn't like a party or something like that. So, or like a girls' night, but something serious that I was like, that I feel like this is my calling, like this is what I'm meant to do. Even leading up to that, I didn't let nobody help me because
I talk about it.
Like I just felt like, you know, I wanted to be done a certain way. At first it was because I was trying to strive for perfection and I had to let that go.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
she's speaking to me. Yeah. She's speaking to me.
And at the same time, like I had my mom. I had my mom. My mom ended up coming to my house, and she was like, "What you got to do today?" Because like I would post like on Snapchat, and y'all, I had Snapchat since 2013 before it was popular because of my mother. When I was in college, my mama was like, "Download this app so we can talk," and I'm like, what is this? She literally was my only friend for like a year. And then people started talking about it. But anyway, so I will post on my little videos on Snapchat. Like I'm printing off stuff and I make these little, these Faith Loving You packets where it's like things, enough material in it for a month of like internal exercises. It's mentally stimulating exercises. It's affirmations that I made up so that the girls can create their own butterfly wall, which is what I call it. But if you're familiar with like Being Mary Jane, how she had her Being Mary Jane wall, it's the same thing. But I gave them like paper mache butterflies inside of their little loot bag that I gave to them, so they could put that on the wall with their sticky notes. And I gave them the affirmations so they didn't have to think of them. So it's like different things in there, but I prepared like 50. And y'all, it sounded like a little bit of work, but it was like,
no, right.
A lot of work.
You ever did something? You ever planned anything?
It was a lot of work.
I ain't never planned nothing, and it sounds like a nightmare. Okay, it sounds like a lot of work.
And my mama like came over to my house. She was like, "No, because you sitting here doing all this stuff by yourself." And I'm like, "Girl, but I'm fine. Like I can just do it. I can do it." But then when we got there, like leading up to it, as closer it got time, I was like, "You know what, Mama? Thank you so much for coming to help me, because I didn't even realize I needed the help until like you came there. It was extra hands there." And then when we got in the venue, like one of my friends was like, "Your mood just totally switched." Like when I say it was like business, like no, like this is why I'm here. Okay, no, the sound is not working. We need to get that together. Okay, the food, what are we doing? You making waffles? You going to pick up the chicken? Daddy, I need you to hurry up with this chicken now. Like, we on a time schedule. Where's my timekeeper? Like, because you want things to be done. Huh?
That's how Ashley is. I remember I was on the set with Ashley. Now, this is before I did nothing like, I think we had already filmed that little thing I did for your class. But this is when you was doing a video shoot or something. You remember, Ashley?
I think so.
Child, she had me on different locations. I said, what is going on? But this is my first time seeing Ashley in work mode, other than the little video you shot for 106 & Park audition. But other than that. So I'm like, yeah, she on the set, she directing. You were filming it and directing. I was a little PA, I was setting up a little camera thing. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing what I'm doing. Scared to ask for help, honey, because I ain't want to get my head chewed off. I ain't want to be complaining like them white folks on the set. But anyway, so I was like, when she went into her mode, I was like, that's when I knew that was your car, from my end. Like, I don't know. But that's when I knew. I was like, no, like, this is what she has been put here to do. Like, I had never seen that side of you before ever. Like, and we've been friends since middle school. So I'm just like, that was so crazy to me. So it's just so funny how y'all get in y'all mode. Now I see Shekerah be getting in that mode all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Anything you planning, party, wed, and all that, I see you getting in that mode. But I think you need that because people need to understand this is not time to play around. Like, we got to get
it's business
done.
And personal. You gotta. It's a difference, and it's supposed to be that. Yeah.
You know what I started doing to people? So I had a manager in 2014. He was a white guy. I love him so much. We still talk to this day. His name is Kirk. Hey, Kirk, because I'm going to send him the link. I love him so much. But he was like the realest white guy I've ever met. Older guy. But he gave me my shot in management at the other company I was working for. And when I say it was the best experience I've ever had in my life to this day with a manager, me and Kirk would go out for lunch. He would talk to me like how we talking. I could talk to him just freely and just openly. And he told me one day, because I was venting to him, my job at that time, I used to coach supervisors on how effective or ineffective their coaching was for their team. And then I would give them little tips on how to like boost their sales and stuff. Well, all of the supervisors were not okay with me coming in, listening to their coaching sessions and giving them feedback because they felt like, first of all, who's this little young black girl? And I've been supervising for umpteen years. How you gonna come and tell me?
The coach.
Right. And you're performing down here. But, who am I? So Kirk would always, he used to tell me, you just need a Q-tip. Now, mind you, I never asked him. This went on for at least a year. And I finally asked him, why do you say that? Like, what does Q-tip mean? And so literally he had like a little baggie of Q-tips in his bag. And he handed me one. He was like, spell Q-tip. I said Q-T-I-P. He said, quit taking it personal. And I used that every single team that I've ever had, even now I ain't managing nobody, but I use that because that's real. Like, if anything has the ability to affect your emotions, you're taking it personally.
So you have my last job.
Come on, Q-tip.
Yeah, on my computer, I have a Q-tip. Like, it's literally a Q-tip and with a little cardboard, and it has typed, quit taking it personal. Because you have to remember, like, it's so easy. It seems so simple, but it's really hard. Because it's so easy to think, like, oh, who you talking to like that? Because you don't know me. And the truth is, no, they don't know you. So quit taking it personal. It ain't personal. Just like when you be on set, just like, you know what I'm saying? Whenever we're doing something that we're passionate about, that's business for us. It's not personal. It's nothing to do with how I feel about you as a person. It's just, this is what I expect from my project, and I want it to go a certain type of way. I'm not talking down to you. I don't think you're less than. I'm not trying to be your mama. You know, no, because your life probably would go a little different as far as your respect. But, you know, like, that's not like what I'm trying to do, but it's just understand this is time for my vision. Just comply. Yeah. And if you don't want to comply, just like a job, we are an at-will state. You can go the door.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's so good, because I think a lot of people get, you know, passion mixed up with, you know, being aggressive or being too straightforward. And it's like, no, I'm passionate about this. Like, I'm taking this serious. Yeah. Something that y'all always say y'all want professionalism. And now that I'm performing in a professional manner, now y'all want to look at me like, oh, it's yeah, like I didn't expect you to actually know what you're talking about. No, yes, I know what I'm talking about. I'm just as smart or even smarter than you are. And that's so crazy, because we do have to end up saying, like, you know, we are on set. Like, don't take what happens on set personal. Like, because it's set in itself is a stressful situation. So we're all stressed out. So don't take what I'm saying. And I've had gotten into this. I mean, I had a whole producer leave on a set. And I was like, you know, we had to talk it out. I was like, babe, just don't take it personal. Like, don't take it personal. Like, we had to rectify it and be like, I would still work with you. There was not a real problem. It just, you wanted your way, and I'm trying to give the director his way. And so at the end of the day, like, his vote is going to trump, like, our vote's going to trump, because I'm DPing the set. So this is what we're saying we want. This is our vision
DP
together.
Mean, girl, we ain't talking. You ain't talking. You got to say what DP means.
Oh, so the director. It's
for the people.
Huh?
For the people that don't know.
Right. Oh, it's the director for the camera. So the visual director for the camera, visual director, cinematographer. So it's person all over the visual who runs the behind the camera, and tells the camera what to do if they're not operating the camera themselves.
Yeah, I think Ashley be talking to me sometimes. Like, well, I didn't know what that was, but Ashley be talking to me sometimes like I went to film school with her.
And you be talking to that right back, like she be entertaining it
all the time. I don't be knowing.
She be entertaining it, but I need Kara to be on my set to be an AD, honey. Because how you just said she's switching to that mode of just like, okay, this need to be on time.
That's my job.
No, your job is going to be, what do we say? The script supervisor.
Yeah. That's me.
Yes.
Y'all, like, that's so crazy, because like if I could get paid to, well, like, I have a business as well. It's called it's a consulting business. But if I could do that for a living, like, just go into different types of environment. Oh, that's right. I'm a speaker.
When you do that.
When
I do that for a living. That's right.
Let me bring all the people I know in the filmmaking with me.
Like, seriously, it really unlocks something in me. Like, whether it's party planning, whether it's let's look at this and like poke holes in it, so that way when you go present it, nobody else, they don't, if they do try to poke a hole, you know, it's sealed and dotted and everything is good. Designing stuff, content creation, editing, writing, just everything, just consulting, just
whatever y'all
everything. Do. That is like so. I love that.
Put your business on the description, but whatever y'all do, just bring me along, honey, because I ain't got no ideas. Look, I'm a good worker. Like you ain't want to work for nobody. I think I need to work for somebody. Not saying that. I just never wanted to be in management. Like on my job's like, oh, you should take these leadership courses. No, I don't want to be responsible for not near one of y'all. No, I want to be responsible for myself.
Leadership is hard.
It is.
It's hard because you have to know how to delegate. And Karen said something that was good. She was saying she don't want to ask for help. And Tequila pointed, she was like, that's me. That's exactly me. And I would just get on set.
I mean, I don't ask for help either. That's all. But you don't.
But that's how I would be. I would get on set, or I would do a job, or just in general, I would just be like, I'll do it myself because I know the way that it should be done. And if I feel that you don't have that go-getter mentality, or that mentality to just do things without someone having to tell you all the time, then I was just like, I'll just do it myself. So I would find myself all the time, like I would have these crew members, but I wouldn't delegate to them because I'd be like, they just weren't coming with that mentality of, okay, it's time to work. And so like,
it's so good. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
So like, I can relate to that because, I didn't realize like that I did that until I had that one position where that one manager, was like second mom at work. And it was my job. Like I was a store manager and I was assistant store manager and she was manager. And she was like, you're doing all the coaching. You're doing all the training. You're writing all the training documents up. You're typing up all the coaching reports. You're doing deposits. Like you're doing everything. Like, how are you functioning? And honestly, I was fine. Like, I was good. Like, I was functioning through the chaos. I was getting off at 4 o'clock every day. I would go in at 8 and I would get off at 4. I wasn't supposed to leave till 5. But she was very lenient. Like, if you finish with your work, you salary. Like, go home. As long as you work at least 6-7 hours a day, I'm good. Ain't no need for you to be sitting here. So just go home. I would make it my business to finish my work for that day and the next day before I would go home. So that way by Friday, I'm logged in from that apartment. I'm not coming in this office today. And I will always be getting shouted out on calls. And then when it came time for my evaluation, I didn't score as high as I thought I would. And I asked for feedback, like, well, why did I get this when I feel like I should have got this? And she was like, your lead. So I was an assistant store manager, but I had a lead that I was supposed, my job as the assistant store manager was, yes, not to do all those things, but to delegate and make sure those things got done. And it was my job to train people under me, so that way the goal was when I move up to manager, this lead should be able to just slide on into my spot. And she was like, she don't know how to do none of this stuff. You ain't delegating nothing to her. And I was like, because I just feel better doing it myself. Y'all, she had to threaten me to write me up. She was like, I love you, but she cursed. She said, I'm going to write your ass up. If I come back in here next week and I see that she hasn't done nothing because you giving her free money and you doing your job, my job, and her job. So that's not okay. And I was so upset. I was so mad. I called my mama like, she trying to write me, y'all. And I'm just doing my job. And she was like, Shekerah, just try it. Like, just try to delegate, like, your task. Like, just give her one small thing, but don't just tell her to do it. Teach her how to do it. And I actually took time and I created her a workbook. I created a manual for every system so that if you forgot how to do it from this training, you can always have something point of reference to go back to. I thought work was easy when I was doing everything. What was a breeze when I taught how to do everything? So that's what taught me, like, I really got to start trusting people. And if she messed up, I have to learn, like, remember, it all goes back to perfection. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just got to do it. And if you mess up, you learn, period. You just don't learn from it.
Oh, true.
Well, I don't know how long we've been on this thing, but I don't want to leave without us talking about Black Lives Matter.
Yes,
I feel like we should have did this in the beginning.
Because I don't know if people are going to get here. Y'all better be still listening to this point. This has been a good episode.
We'll talk about it next week. We're going to talk about it next week, too. But I mean, I don't know what I want to say. I do want to say justice for George Floyd, though, because
absolutely.
I mean, I just don't have the words anymore. It's like, what do you say? Like, we tired of these hashtags. We tired of tweeting. We tired of doing anything. When we kneel, it's a problem. When they kneel on us, it's not. Like, when we peaceful protest, it's a problem. When they're rioting in the streets, it's a problem. Like, what can we do? Like, I just don't know, honestly. I don't know. I don't have a clue. And I'm not saying, I understand where these people that are rioting coming from, because this man was literally murdered in the street for no reason, calling out to his deceased mom, saying he cannot breathe. He was calling out to his mom that is dead, saying he cannot breathe because he knew that he was coming to her. Like, this is crazy. And the cop was just sitting there looking at the camera, hands in his pocket, did not give a flying fuck, did not care that he was being recorded. Just imagine what happens when we don't see it. It's just too many names, too many hashtags. I'm tired of it. I don't give a fuck that they're burning the city down. I don't want to hear, oh, your community. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not saying I condone violence, but I understand that this is rage, this is anger. If the cop was in jail, if all 4 of those cops are in jail right now, I bet those riots might be
it wouldn't be
down. But the reason they're rioting is because somebody is dead for no reason. Y'all need to stop blaming these protesters or rioters, whatever you want to call them, and blame the cops, because without that murder, there would be no riot. Let's look at the root cause of the situation, people. But anyway, hey, don't get me started. I'm pissed.
Yeah, and to follow you up, I have a post on my Instagram right now, and it says, we can't go jogging, we can't relax in our comfort of our own homes, we can't ask for help, or we can't ask for help after being in a car crash, we can't have a cell phone, we can't leave a party to get to safety, we can't play loud music, we can't sell CDs, we can't sleep, we can't walk from the corner store, we can't play cops and robbers, we can't go to church, we can't walk home with Skittles, we can't hold our hair brush while having our own bachelor party, we can't party on New Year's Eve or New Year's, we can't get a normal traffic ticket. We can't lawfully carry a weapon. We can't break down on public road with the car problems. We can't shop at Walmart. We can't have disabled vehicle. We can't read a book in our own car. We can't be a 10-year-old walking with our grandfather. We can't decorate for a party. We can't ask a cop a question. We can't cash our check in peace. We can't take out our wallets. We can't run. We can't breathe. We can't live. We're tired of making hashtags, tired of trying to convince you that Black Lives Matter too, tired of dying. All of these, which are plenty and plenty more, this person can only make 30 hashtags. So this is 30 different reasons of people losing their lives for no reason at all.
Yep.
No reason at all. Not to count the ones that weren't hashtag, not to count the ones that weren't posted on social media, because we're from the South. So this is something that we all have been made aware of or known for a long time before social media.
Yeah.
And I'm filled with every bad emotion there can be. Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I just mentioned the other day, like our last podcast, how it's crazy. We're in 2020 and we're still trying to get equal education in the Black schools. And that was 1960s. My niece and nephew just read Ruby Bridges' story today. It's not their first time reading it, but they read it again today because they needed to read a nonfiction book. And I'm just thinking, like, that's still a reality today. We in the white, some of us are in the white schools, but if you're not, white people just made another system. Oh, we're going to have private schools. We're going to have this type of schools. So they don't have to give Black kids the equal education. And on top of that, now we're still dealing. I also posted a post from Times Magazine that was also in the 1960s, basically saying, what's changed? What's changed since then?
No.
Nothing. The only difference is we have social media now, and it's like people feel like it's getting worse, but this has always been happening. It's just being posted.
More.
And it's a good thing. I feel like I honestly, if I'm being real honest with you, I have mixed feelings, because it's like nobody is saying like we are like bash the police or anything like that. No. But at the same time, I do feel like that. Still, like, I do feel like some people do feel that way. But I have mixed emotions because, like, you know, I have loved ones who are police officers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to think, like, just like as a Black person, not only are they Black, but they're also Black in a blue suit. And they're not a part of the problem. But because that's now looked at as the threat, you know, them just walking, doing their day to day. That whether they're in work clothes or in normal clothes, their life is in danger. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's like I have mixed emotions when it comes just to that, to like, you know, pinning everything on just police in general. The people who are doing the injustice, they need to pay in whatever way, pay. But at the same time, like, I just feel like too much of it, like, not saying like negate what's going on, but I know for me, today is Thursday. Yesterday was a hard day for me. It was a hard day for me. This week has been a hard week for me. And it's so crazy because I'm naturally an empath. So like, I don't have to know you. I can just look at something and read something about somebody, and those emotions, I feel them. Yeah, like, and it can tend to consume me sometimes. So I do have to like monitor how much of it I take in. So like, I haven't been on social media like that. I haven't really been watching, like, I don't ever watch the news.
It's hard.
I never watch the news.
Like,
I haven't watched the news
like,
in years.
Like this morning, and I was like, I haven't been on social media. The reason why is because I know all this is going on. So my first instinct is not to hop on social media. I just started making a post about everything last night because I'm like, right now, I still don't have the right words that I want to say.
I'm never going to have the right words. I haven't even made a post about, I mean, I've been retweeting stuff, reposting stuff, but me physically, I haven't put into words what I wanted to say because I still don't have them. But I will say that I didn't watch the full video, but I will say there's a point, I cried. That's another thing with mental health and going to work. I have to look at this, deal with these feelings all while doing my work. Like, I'm sitting there crying tears for some man I never met while on my work computer processing what I have to do. It's just ridiculous. And I'm not saying that all cops are bad. I'm not saying none of that. But for me, I cannot stand up for, they in a community, a department for when something like this happens. Where the good cops at? I've seen a few, but some of these good cops, they silent. Or
and they're part of the problem too.
Or the department that there are 75 cops outside this man's house right now, protecting him. Why? Or these departments where, we gonna protect our one. Even if you're the good cop, then I need you to say something. If you're on that force, say something. Don't stand for it. And I understand it's hard. It's not gonna be easy. I understand you have a livelihood. You probably got kids. You got a family. But somebody is dead. Right is right and wrong is wrong. So I just feel like for the good cops out there that are speaking up, I salute you. I do.
For sure.
But I just feel like it's bigger than that. The problem is bigger than that. It's a system. Everybody's saying the system is broken. The system is broken. The system is not broken.
It's never existed. It's never existed for Black people.
This is the system that they set up. It's working just fine. We have to break the system.
Yes, they create like when slaves were freed, they created the justice system to put the slaves back in jail. Police officers came about after slavery.
They were the slave watchers.
And I'm just like, so of course there are gonna be racism in you know the justice system. If that's where it started.
Yeah, so I do salute the cops that.
And I have one.
I saw a video that it was from this cop. I can't remember what.
I have a video from a cop. I need to post it. I just haven't chopped it up.
Can I tell?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can't remember what state he was from, but he said that he got into, to be a police officer to fight this kind of stuff, and I respect that because, honey, it wouldn't be me. Like, and I get it. That's what we need. We need stuff like that.
It's really scary, and it's scary. So, like, and someone very close to me, I don't want to tell her business yet, but is she had a moment today, like a real moment where it was just like, and it was more than a moment. I didn't know if she's okay, right now or not, but she's going through the intro parts of becoming a police officer. And then now all of this stuff is like being like brought to the forefront, not happening, but being brought to the forefront. And like literally there was 3 videos. She sent me one of them, and then 2 other ones I just saw on my own of just people in the street, just literally recording, just walking up to a cop, just standing there, and they just jump them. Just because.
Was this in Minnesota?
There was one in Minnesota. There was another one.
Because them ones in Minnesota, I don't give a fuck about them not either.
Yeah, the Minnesota. Now that's different. But like there was another one in DC.
But yeah, I understand.
Like, but you know what I'm saying, like it's just like it's the reality is like, and I did tell her like think about the positives. Think about like your goals for what you are wanting to join the police academy, whatever it's called, for. Like, why are you wanting to do it? And keep that on the forefront of your head, of your brain, because in any other profession, you're going to take risks. It's a risk doing anything. So at least, you can look at it like that. And not that helps, because it didn't help. And she made it very clear, like, I get it, but this is just a reality. Like, this is the reality of the reality.
I do have, compassion. I pray for her and everything and all of that. I think what the police departments can do is just, well, maybe not the departments, but the individual polices, I guess. I don't know. If you know your community that you have to patrol, get to know them. If they're like, oh, that ain't nobody but Officer whatever.
Like here in Columbia, South Carolina, Officer Bay.
Yeah, Officer Bay. We know ain't nobody going up. There's no black.
Nobody gonna find Officer Bay.
To Officer Bay right now, throwing shit at him. That's because we know who he is. Get to know the community. Make your voice heard. Speak out against what is right is right, is what's wrong is wrong. I don't give a damn if that's your damn partner. If they down on a knee on somebody's neck, killing them.
And somebody should have pushed them over.
And it was like, was just standing around.
No, 2 of them had him pinned down with him.
But it was a bunch that was just standing around in the video.
Yeah, it was people, and it was people in the pictures, because I didn't watch the videos. I would never.
Yeah, I had to cut it off. I
will never even put myself in that position. I can't even watch Law and Order. Okay, so I'm not about to watch no real life stuff. I'm just not about to do it. It disturbs my spirit. And my mom would be like,
no, it does.
Girl. But it really does. And it's not to say like I don't want to see it or what I say. But it's just I know what I can handle. And I feel like that would just send me over. Like legit, today on the phone, like today was a better day. But I was talking to this lady. You could tell, I hate to say this, but you could tell a white person voice from a black person voice. And it was this white lady. I was doing a claim for her. Bless her heart. I had to pray for forgiveness after I got off the phone. But I had processed a claim for her. She was being so nasty with me. And I was like, in my mind, it was just all kind of stuff going through my mind. Like, I wanted to cuss her out. I wanted to say this, that, and third. But then I had to look up and see that Q-tip. Because this white lady right here is not white people. This white lady right here didn't do nothing to me.
Personally. Well, I need to be clear on this. Like, when we talking about white people, what was the, oh, damn, I can't remember the man's name. But he just had the thing. But my thing is, when I say white people, or if I'm posting stuff about black people, or if I'm talking about this specific case, this is us against racists. So if you are getting offended, then delete me at this point. I'm not stepping on.
Well, I'm gonna say this. Like one of my friends said, if you're getting offended by one of these posts that black people are making, or one of even your maybe your white friends that are, you know, standing up against or speaking out against this, then you know what? I'm glad you're offended, because maybe you'll pay more attention and you will speak up to make sure that this stops.
What Rihanna said, if they your friend and they want to eat your meals, tell them to pull up, because they should be concerned too. So pull up.
Because I can't be worried about your feelings, because every day I wake up and I'm feared. The same way you might clutch your purse when you see a black man coming down the same sidewalk as you, and you clutch your purse and you walking around on the street. Guess what? I feel that just waking up out of my sleep. Matter of fact, now I got to fear it in my sleep.
Right. Ooh.
So don't talk to me about being offended, baby. If you offended, then why don't you speak up and help do something about it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just feel like I have white people that I know that I talk just like this. I'm talking to y'all. They're not offended because it doesn't apply to them. If it does not apply to you, then keep it moving. I don't have time to censor my words. Y'all don't censor y'all actions, and y'all out here killing people.
Killing people, innocent people.
And I don't need to hear about no black on black crime, because they don't correlate. We can deal with our other issues.
Talk about white on white crime.
We can deal with issue after issue, but when we are talking about Black Lives Matter and we are losing lives at the hands of the people that are supposed to protect and serve us, people that are not going to jail, all they losing is their job, but they still got their pension. They are in their house living with their families. They can see their families, but they taking family members away from us. Let's talk about that. I don't need no buts. Oh, but this. Oh, but that. I don't need no buts.
And Karen,
period.
Susan,
it's a period.
Elizabeth.
Don't say Susan. That's my mama name. I know it's a white name, but no. Karen, we gonna stick with Karen. You got carried away. Karen. Continue.
Karen. Can I say Elizabeth? That's the
Karen. That's the name we have for them.
Karen, stop calling the police on black people when you doing wrong.
The stuff some of these police are doing, killing us, making it okay for Karen. That Karen is thinking it's okay because of the actions of the policemen.
Yes. That's why she felt like it's okay to call the police. That's why she felt okay for her to have them white woman tears, because she knew.
That's considered a weapon.
Yeah.
Like, if you say this black person is threatening me, that's considered a weapon.
She knew exactly what she was doing when she called the police.
That's considered a weapon. I'm a person.
They don't see us as people.
That man was just doing his job as a bird keeper. They're passionate about making sure that those dogs in those parks are on leashes because they chase the birds.
They attack the birds.
Protect the birds.
Crazy.
And then she'll choking out like the fuck.
She probably would have got in more trouble for about to strangle the damn dog.
She done gave the dog away, and then that doggone reporter gonna talk about, oh, well, should she have given the dog away? Yes!
I thought they took the dog.
I don't know if she took
the reporter talking about, well, should she have lost the dog because of this little squabble?
They took that dog.
Because of this little squabble. It's not a
little squabble. First of all, you're choking out the dog. You could have just put your dog on the leash, she thought she was too privileged to put the dog on the leash because a black man was telling her.
I don't call people crazy like that because there's a lot of issues going on, but these people are crazy.
No, seriously, there's something going on.
Right? Did y'all see the man that was calling it was a white man? Well, y'all ain't been on social media, so I don't know if y'all seen it. It was a white man in the gym. It was like an office space building.
I did see that.
Call the police on them 3 black men working out, talking about, do they have a leasing space here? Why y'all worried about? You know, when black people, this is why I don't know why they scared of us. Because when black people, when black people don't got nothing to do with it, we mind our business. This is why I don't understand. Like, how y'all scared of us? We need to be terrified of y'all.
Because they know that they've done. They know that they've done so much wrong that they're fearful that we're gonna come back and reciprocate that rate.
Yeah, what's that quote? Somebody did say that quote. The man was like, damn, I don't want to misquote out. He was like, it was a white man basically saying like, if I don't want to say it.
They guilty.
Basically saying if he would have been through all that we have been, like, you know, he'll be ready to burn the country down, like. And y'all mad at us kneeling, and then y'all want us to salute a flag? Like, for what? People are fighting for a country that don't love them. People are, like, because they have no other choice, or they still feel it in their heart to protect our country when the country ain't protecting us.
Or they could be doing it. This is a business transaction. I know if I serve these little umpteen amount of years, I'm going to be set. Because I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to say that something is wrong. And something might be wrong a little bit. But I know if I go down to this VA office and I claim this, and I'm going to play this system, I'll never have to work again for no more men. Because y'all ass is going to pay me at 100% more than what I was making than I was on the line. So I think a lot of it, too, is the white, it's so crazy because when I be talking to
I don't know, because there's a lot of homeless veterans out there that ain't getting them.
I don't call them white people. I call them clear people when I'm talking to other people. But like, for real, like, I do feel like they know. Like, and like I was going to tell you too, Ashley, earlier when you were saying like how in film school, how the white kids would make you feel like insecure about your craft and about your calling. I feel like that's just not just like, you know, subjected to like white people or whatever, but just in general. Yeah, because like in general, like when people are threatened by what they see in you, so it could be like it's jealousy, but it's a jealousy on another level. So like I do feel like I know for a fact we are all God's children, and with all of us being God's children, He put a special gift inside of each of us and a special area inside of each of us, and 9 times out of 10. We don't know it off bat. It takes for somebody else to see something in us. And if they're the wrong person to see it, they're going to make it like, oh, this is a bad thing. This is a negative thing. They're going to talk about you and downplay you for it and make you feel insecure about it with the intentions of making you shut up. But the reality is when you get connected to somebody or something that sees it in you, that was meant to see it in you, and that's meant to pull it up out of you and purpose you and affirm that gift, it's like it makes your confidence in that area build back up. So when we're confident and we know we have the skills, we were born with the skills. We have the intellect, we were born with it. That's innate. Like, I really just feel like we as a people are the most intelligent, the most talented,
that's why
the most gifted. But we also, as a people, are the most insecure and the least confident. And when we get about some confidence and some security with the self, child, these poor people don't know what to do with us. That's why they be so mad.
Speak on it. Give us a word. Keep the nigga down. Give us a word. No, but it's.
Well, I got to pee.
No, we about to close it out now. But last words about just mental health care, just maybe something inspirational, really, really quick to leave the people with.
Just the white people. I'm just playing. Just kidding.
It's crazy. So just to tell the people, just to remind y'all, therapy is not a negative thing. I definitely appreciate all the progress that everybody in society has been making thus far. However, therapy is not negative. Get you some therapy, date you a therapist, date you a few therapists until you find the right one for you, and then learn to quiet yourself just enough to know when something is not right. Because the more busy you are, the more distracted you are. And the more distracted you are, the further you are away from your inner self. And it takes being centered and one with self in order for you to really know who you are and to begin doing your work. And it's never going to be perfect. You are okay to have a bad day. Just don't sit in it.
Yes. Thank you.
This might be the first episode I actually listened to.
Yo, this is a really, really dope episode. Shout out to everybody that stayed with us. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the conversation just went so seamlessly. I don't think
long.
Yeah,
send me $1. If you made it, send me $1 to my Cash App. Just kidding.
But yes, Kira, go ahead, leave your handles where people can follow you or support you, whatever you're doing.
You can follow my nonprofit organization page on Instagram at The Beauty Beyond the Mirror, on Facebook, The Beauty Beyond the Mirror. And you can also follow my consulting business on Instagram at Consult Me Jovial, and that's Jovial. And the same thing on Facebook, Consult Me Jovial. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, she was our first guest.
Our first guest went well. She took our virginity, our guest virginity.
Hey. You popped the cherry.
All right, y'all. Well, thank y'all for listening to another episode of JPP. We out.
Okay, now I gotta go pee now. Stop recording.